Hi everyone. So, this should be on Friday unless things go awry. But I switched around my schedule a little bit. I'm going to be doing my completed pages for June today. I had a bit of a illness flare up when I got back, fibro flare up when I got back from my trip, and I really haven't felt much like coloring or doing anything for the past 3 or 4 days. And so while I thought I still had a couple pages left to color for the month and some buddy colors I needed to get done, I just pretty much called it done. And I'll just have to tackle those in July. So usually I have my planner with this information breakdown in it, and like everything else right now, I can't find my planner. My room's just messy, the room I film in and mostly color in. So I just decided to do it here on this sheet of paper, and once I find it, I'll add it in. So for June, I actually did 31 pages, which is way more than I thought I did, but it was very heavily a color by number month, partially just because I had a lot of time. Color by number is generally what I do when I get really anxious, when I'm listening to something and I need something to do with my hands while I'm listening to videos and things like that. And so this was a really heavy, like very anxious month for me. So most of these were color by number, and only 6 were non-color by number. That's actually been kind of the opposite the previous few months, and honestly I'm pretty disappointed about it and bummed, because I had this was one of those times where I wanted to color, but I just mentally and physically just couldn't, just wasn't there for it. Had a lot of more pages planned that were non-color by number, and they just didn't pan out. And it's just, I don't know, it's tough because then you have a series of books you want to color in for the next month, and so now you've got to add the books you didn't get to color in this month to next month, and at some point, stuff just constantly gets pushed to the side. So I also did not make any progress on my whips. I will be showing those at the very end. Most of those are the same, though I've added a couple new ones to the pile. So I did do 15 pages in my 10 books to finish. That was one thing. I did get my second book completed out of this series this year. I was hoping to be farther along at this point, but here we are. I was supposed to do my 6-month progress video in June too, but that's going to have to be in July. And I'm definitely swapping one book out, if not more than one. So here's a list of the items that I use this month, and then I put an asterisk next to the items I don't typically use. Actually, I don't really use water-based markers. No, I use those pretty often. So one of the reasons color by number was so big was I was trying as a personal challenge to color in all my George T. Fexis books this month, and I didn't quite make it. I was short, I think 3 at least. So I was a bit bummed by that, but I actually made some pretty good progress. I think I got either 4 or 5 of them. And that's what I use my towel trees in, so those got a lot of use this month. I do use the water-based markers a lot in my Belva family little square color by number grid books. I like using those in there. Bic Intensity, I hadn't used those in a long time, and I used those to finish out my book, my Kira Shershneva book. Neocolor 2s, I don't use a lot. I used in 3 different pictures this month. Faber-Castell grip pens. While I was on vacation, these worked really well as a take-along pen. They're called the Grip Color Marker. I'd received these as Happy Mail from John. I think it's Coloring at Midnight or by Moonlight, or there's 2 different channels there, and I can never remember which one it is. Sorry. But John had sent those as a Happy Mail a long time ago, and I like using those a lot for like little small spaces. They're water-based markers, and they're a really neat set to take when you're traveling. Various alcohol markers. I did use quite a bit of pencil this month, are mostly Arteza and Prismacolor pencils, which is unusual for me, and then finally some Arteza gel pens. Alright, so I'm going to show non-color by number first, then I'll show the George Tufexis color by number, because I think those bridge the gap well between non-color by number and color by number. Like, a lot of people don't like color by number, but they like George Tufexis. I'll finish up with my color by numbers, and then, like I said, I'll show my whips at the very end because they haven't really changed except a couple new ones have been added. So let's get started. I did grab quite a few of my Camellia Angelkova books this month. Did quite a bit in the miniatures series. This is part of my 10 books to finish, and I only managed one this month. This is not progressing well, but you know, just doing the best I can do. Sorry if I seem distracted today. Reepicheep is not feeling well. He seemed okay when I first got home, but he is acting a little strange, and I'm hoping it's nothing serious, but I've got to take him to the vet today. I should be home before this airs, so I guess I'll put in the description, you know, how things went, and, you know, I guess, anyway, I'm kind of distracted because I'm worried about him, so I did this picture. I treated it with satin glazing liquid and then used almost entirely Neocolor 2s and then Arteza glitter gel pens. This was my very first attempt at demoing with the Neocolor 2s. Overall, I do like using them much more on treated paper than untreated paper. The Neocolor 2s themselves, you can use a lot less of it and push the color a lot further, so that was fun. This is kind of, the Jungle Miniatures has turned into my play with different mediums book because I use a lot of, you know, just markers and then a lot of watercolors in this one, it seems. It's kind of my playbook, if you will. I did do one out of 50 Farmers miniatures as well. I think all these apply to my alphabet color tag for the month, which is alphabet color 2022 GH. So that was house. In the farmer miniatures, I have garden, and I did this one with this cute little rabbit and his carrot house. I just wanted to make, I figured it was a magical carrot that was big enough to be a house. It could be different colors than the standard carrots. So I think I just used a touch of gel pen on the water drops. And then I don't know, I felt like going around the edges and filling it in and making it a black background type picture. So turned out really cute. Thinking I'm probably going to do this one next. I like that one a lot. And then in 50 spring miniatures, I did a bee. This would be for honey, or a honeybee. And I did this picture, which you guys seem to like a lot on Instagram, and I do too. I said, now is not a good time, sweetheart. Since I've been home, they've been pretty attached, and she's trying to get up on the desk, and there's really no room there. I made room for her. Tried to keep the edges white, and then just went around the edges with the blue just to give it a little bit of a hint of a background. And then I also went around the edges of the flowers with the pink Arteza glitter gel pen, and then did the gold on the wings of the bee. This is the only time I like bees are in coloring books. I try to have, you know, an understanding with them when I'm outside, but they don't always get the memo. I did have a couple buddy colors this month. Some I didn't get to, and I'm going to have a busy July. But this one was with my friend Kim. I will put her YouTube channel and her Instagram down in the description. She asked if I wanted to color out a night garden by R.J. Hampson, which would work for the color along, and I said yes because I've been dying to color in this book, and I hadn't had a chance yet. So we ended up doing the Hanging Gardens page. And like I said, I will link to her Instagram and everything. So I think on my Instagram I put both pictures. So I ended up using, I think, Towel Tree and a variety of alcohol markers. I ended up using, I can't remember which color palette it was, part of the color palette from a Sarah Renee Clark palette for the house itself. And then I filled in with white gel pen and some glitter gel pen, if it will shine. There it goes. So this turned out really cute. I don't normally color buildings all that much. It's not really my thing, but I actually quite enjoyed how this turned out. So thank you, Kim, for suggesting this. I'm glad I would not have otherwise made it to this book this month, and I was really glad I was able to color in one of my newer books this month. And finally, my in the non-color by numbers, my big double page spread this month. I did post the videos while I was gone. This was my second set of demos with the Neocolor 2s. Again, I went to Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlzon, which seems to be, so far, I think, especially the unique drawings are my favorite drawings of hers so far, and I think in all of her books. And I had done the Space Adventures double spread last month. The pages before that caught my eye, and I already had a color scheme in mind. So I ended up doing these as a couple Neocolor 2 demos. She does look a little bit more different than the background. It kind of looks like it's all the same color, but it's just the way the light's hitting the page. She's more of an ochre and the background's more of an orange, so it's close, but you know. Anyway, so this was a experiment basically with treated paper with satin glazing liquid versus untreated Hannah Carlzon paper. And I found that I liked the Neocolor 2s better on the satin glazing liquid, but I like the pencil better on the untreated paper. So I'm going to have to come up with, like, if I'm going to use the Neocolor 2s for the background, you know, maybe just treating the background or something on a page. Trying to find a compromise around that. So Neocolor 2 is a base across both pictures. Used a combination of Arteza and Prismacolor pencils for the shading, and then used some Arteza glitter gel pens for the frames. You can see there. And then a little bit of the Ranger Pearl Essence paints, and then just some little shimmer paints and gold type paints for some of the little accents here. Those were a last minute ad, and they almost turned into a disaster, but at the end of the day, I think they still turned out okay. So super pleased with that. It would be really cool if I could do a double page spread in this each month. That would be really cool. Oh, I guess this also counts too. So I guess we have 32 pages and 7 non-color by numbers. I did do this little mouse on the title page as well. That was kind of my test on the untreated paper with the Neocolors and some shading. So I guess I need to change my numbers. So I'm really enjoying this book quite a bit. Like I said, the unique drawings in particular really jump out at me. So don't be surprised if you see that again in July. Alright, now we are to the George Tufexis books. I have 5 of them. I managed to get a page done in. I don't know why. I got it in my head. I wanted to do one in each. And like I said, I got close. I missed Sea Life, By the Sea, and Endless Summer. I think those were the, oh, and Birds. Yep, there's another one. So I missed 4 of them. But like I said, I got the majority of them. So I'm proud of that. So this is Around the World by George Tufexis, and I did the Germany picture to go along with Alphabet Color 2022 G&H. Again, another building picture, though this one wasn't too bad because the colors are already decided. So So I did that one. I don't think I got around to posting this one on Instagram. And like I said, it's all towel tree markers with a little bit of white gel pen, just to clean up where the marker may bleed a little bit. Spectacular spring scenes. I did the turtle picture, which I've been wanting to do for a long time. I totally love the purples and the reds and oranges on him. And so I did this one, which turned out really cool. This is definitely one of my favorites. I say that, but then I do a page in another book and I'm like, darn it, I really like this one too. So it's hard to focus on just one book because there really are just so many awesome pictures in all the books. But this is one I come back to quite a bit. You know, I also missed autumn inspirations. Okay, I got half of them. I have a lot of George Tufex's books. Alright, Country Scenes Color by Number. This was a buddy color with Wrenn Kelly. I'll also put her YouTube channel and Instagram in the description. We have decided to take this on as a project book, so I imagine we'll probably be doing one a month in here unless we want to mix it up one month. And at the rate I'm going, then that might mean next year this could actually be all my 10 books to finish and my first George Tufex's book finished, which would be really cool to actually have. So this is Country Scenes, and we did this page. Now she does her pictures in pencils, and then I again use the towel tree markers, so it's really neat to see the differences in the picture. They always both turn out great, but I think it's neat to see the pencil and the marker. Again, just towel tree markers, a little bit of white gel pen just to clean up some of the little white areas, like in the foam in the water and whatnot. Then we have Cats Color by Number, which, see, this is why I say it's hard for me to pinpoint a favorite George Tufex's book, because they all, each time I get into one of them, I really enjoy it. And of course, y'all know I love the cats one. Pretty much all the George Tufex's pictures would have applied for this month because of his name. That's why I was trying to get them all and only made it about halfway. So this is the picture I completed this month. I am going front to back in this one, and I love this. I always call, there was another one where it was the cat, I and the bird in one of his books, and I called it Forbidden Breakfast. And so from here on out, any of the ones involving cats with birds, I think they're automatically titled Forbidden Breakfast in my head. So this, according to the book, is an American Shorthair Silver Cat. So these are actual breeds of cats in this book, which is pretty cool. And these aren't overly complicated. These and the Country Scenes, I feel like, are probably his less complex color by numbers if you like want to try one and you're a little overwhelmed by some of the more detailed ones. This one doesn't have a ton of detail to it either, so it's just fun. It's kitties. Y'all know I love the kitties. Might start trying to work on one a month in that one too. And finally, just finished this one up yesterday. Glorious Gardens Color by Number. I did this one with another kitty. Now this one actually was pretty detailed. It usually, his pages take me about 2 days. I'll spend 2 or 3 hours on them each day, and usually take me a couple days because I need a break. And love the little blue roses down here. Love all the colors of the flowers, and of course I love the little orange kitty sitting there on the fence. So there is that one. So now we are getting into the official non-George Tufex's color by numbers. So if you don't want to see those or the whips, thank you for joining. And if I'm not back on Sunday with a color and chat, I should be back on Tuesday with kicking off the color along tags for July. So yeah. Alright, so this is part of my 15 books to finish, and I do really believe if I keep at it, this one is going to be doable this year, which would be awesome because it would be my first Creative Haven book to finish, and their color by numbers do have 46 pictures, so it's a pretty, pretty awesome amount of pictures there. So, and I left it alone for months, and then this month kind of had a bit of a fire lit under my butt about it and got in the mood for it, so I did 4 this month. This is by Jessica Mazurkiewicz, by the way. There is a non-color by number version of this book, though it would only have 31 of the images, so I'm not sure which ones are in there compared to this book. You would probably need to research that. I had a marker dying on me on this page. I like the different colors of the calla lilies. I do know what these are. I wish they would put the description down here of what these flowers are. That would have been a nice touch. And then some roses. Again, I was starting to lose. This one I don't stress too much. I try not to leave it streaky, but if they end up streaky, this is one of mine. I'm burning up my markers in it kind of thing. So, and then there is that one. That blue in the background is probably like my favorite color. And when I color that blue in the background, I think it may be just a touch darker in the Arteza set, and it's called Mykonos Blue. That is like my favorite color across all my pencils and colors and markers and pens. That is my favorite color, is that kind of Mykonos Blue color. We're just going to start stacking them on the ground. All right. So continuing my my experiments in the Hatchet Heroes books, I did do the so I purchased the Disney Felines and the Villains book. Let me tell you, those books are completely different in terms of complexity. I started that Villains page and it has become a whip because that sucker's going to take forever. This book is not super complex, and so I can see myself working in this a lot more than I will be the other one. Though those pictures are incredible, this one's a lot easier to tackle overall. So again, I think I'm going front to back in this one. Last month I did this one using water-based markers, and it turned out cute. I just didn't like all these little streaks. I don't know, it was driving me crazy. And then I had the black marker bleeding in. You guys suggested some tips on that, which I tried over here this month. And so I wasn't super thrilled with this. So I thought I would try pencil. Yes, I said pencil, and yes, Prismacolor pencils and on this side this month. So I got this, which I just posted on Instagram, and it was Prismacolor pencils, and I used a Caran d'Ache blender to blend in the background and basically go over most of this to try to smooth it out. I love the look of this. The black outlines were done using a Faber-Castell Pitt pen, and I love the look of this so much better than this. However, this was really hard on my hands and wrists. I have a lot of tendonitis, carpal tunnel issues with especially my right arm and hand, and so this was a little rough. I probably won't be able to do, if I do these in pencil, I probably won't be able to do more than one a month. So, and I am going to spray this with a fixative, just because with the soft Prismacolor, this is probably going to rub off if I'm not careful. However, I do like the look of this a lot better. I think I might settle on a combination of pencil and maybe like acrylic paint, or I may even try watercolor one month in these, just to see if it's going to bleed through and what is it going to do. That's the biggest concern. But much happier. I like this picture better than this picture, the composition, but I like the finish on this one a lot better than this one, if that makes any sense. You'll see the Villains one in the whips, as I said. Now, while I was on my trip, I did manage to get some coloring done. From Mosaic Mandala Black Edition by Sun Life Drawing. You're like, when was the last time we saw this book, Michelle? Pulled this one out of the bookcase, and this one was great for just sitting and waiting for our plane and some other, just killing time. Like I said, kind of anxious, needing something to distract me for a few minutes. This was perfect for that. This is where I used most of those grip color pens, and then I think I used those. If the color didn't 100% match, I just still kind of went with that, and I ended up doing this one. I don't work on mandalas often. I do have a plan. Camellia Angel Cove is 50 nighttime mandalas. I was thinking of starting with the first page, taking her one, color palette 1, converting it to pens, markers, what have you, and complete each mandala with the color palette from in order in her color companion thing. And I might start working on that, but am I going to have the time will be the next thing. But I do like them, like I said, when I'm doing anxiety or killing time coloring, I do enjoy working on those. Speaking of, I also did one in here while I was gone, but I had 3 for the month. This will become part of my 10 books to finish because I am really enjoying working in this, and there's some books I haven't even touched, so I think this is going to be a replacement. I'm working back to front in this one, so we have Mr. Moose here in his fancy tux. We have this one, which is a little, like, I love the pattern of the sweater, but the fact that it's like a fish on, I imagine this to be a mannequin, and like there's a, just a fish on, stuck on the neck of a mannequin, and that just seems rather disturbing to me. But I do like the pattern of the sweater and how the colors line up with the fish. Plus he's got teeth, and so is he a piranha? Is that what we're seeing here? And finally, I finished this one. Looked pretty straightforward. However, his helmet there is rather colorful. I was kind of wondering where we were going with the colors there, but I like the little rocket and everything. So, like the little different mix of colors here. But yeah, I'm getting at least one done a month in here, so I might be able to get that done before the end of the year. Stained Glass Wildlife by Sach and Sach Diva. I did one in here for Alphabet Color 2022 GH. I did the giraffe. I also really enjoy the colors in this one. Every time I color a picture in here, I'm like, I just really love his color choices and the composition of the colors in all of his pages. So this may replace one as well. I have to look and see where I'm at. I can't even remember what all books I have, so we'll see. Haven't touched my Color Questopias in a while, not because I don't like them, just haven't had a chance, and just got in the mood to color one out of Flowers and Gardens. Going front to back in this one, I did this picture. I really like coloring these straight color and then doing a slightly darker outline around the edges. I just think it gives a really nice effect. So that turned out real pretty. Did a couple out of Cute Cats. I say these are part of my color along because the Spanish word for cat is gato. So I feel like that applies. Working back to front, I don't know, sometimes I like starting at the back because I see the first page of a book and I see a lot of people complete it, and so I'm like, well, I want to be a rebel, and so I'll do the last page in the book just to mix things up, and then I wind up working back to front. I don't know, it's just a thing. So here's one, cute little kitties in a basket. This is part of my 10 books to finish. If I can stay on track with this one, I might be able to get this done before the end of the year. Again, this got neglected for a few months. our little witch kitty. I did do some out of Easter ceramic tiles. This is the only Prachi ceramic tiles book I own, but I really enjoy doing at least one picture a month out of here. I just love, again, the color choices and the composition. I want to get the desserts one, but to be quite honest, I think I'm just going to work on this one even out of season. And because this month was holidays, this still applies to my tag. But, you know, I may even work on this outside my tags just to get done with it, and then I can buy a desserts one. And finally, from the book that I did finish this month, Country Life Color by Colors by Kira Shershniva. I did get 5 in here done. I switched to my Bic intensity markers with the exception of the peach, which I used, you know, a regular alcohol marker for, and I really enjoyed using those. So we have the grapes. I think one in here didn't really apply to my tag, but that was okay. I wasn't going to leave it uncolored, so I had one more left. We have a horse and geese. Those geese look suspicious. I don't trust geese personally. Oh, that was last month. We have garden with the angry kitty who wants nothing to do with the watering can. I seriously would love to see Kira just do a book of cats. I love how she draws her cats. They're just adorable. Then we have our goose again. And finally, this one back here, I couldn't really figure out how to make apply, but it's chickens. And that was my last one in the book. So I was super stoked. We are 6 months in, and this is only my second completed book of the year, which is, I don't feel like bodes well, but you know, I'm still happy I finished it. All right, now quickly, I'm going to show you guys the whips. I'm going to show you the few new ones, 2 new ones, and I'll just show you the 3 that are still ongoing that I one day will hopefully finish if you hadn't already seen them. So Reptiloids is one of my 10 books to finish this year. I only have barely started the first page and marker, and so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this one, if it's going to stay on my list or what's going to happen. I love the book and I love the pictures, but I don't know. It's some books you look at, you just really block out how you want to color them, and that's pretty much what I'm struggling with this one. Once I get it figured out, I think I will just mow through it, but I'm just not really sure what my main approach is going to be in this one. So I like the colors that are happening here. Yeah, it's a tough one. All right, so Hatchet Heroes, Disney Villains, way different in detail than the Felines book. This has turned into a whip, and this is all I have accomplished so far. You can at least see it's Ursula and her little buddies there. But look, it's kind of hard to see, but you can barely see the numbers there. Look at the detail in this one. So I've used some water-based markers in here, my Pitt pen. This is going to be a combination of pencils, markers. It might look a little streaky, but because of the small areas, I don't think it's going to impact it as much. So I'm not as worried about it. What the heck? Get out of here, fly. So yeah, these are going to take a long time. I mean, just look at the colors here on the bottom. So I don't know, maybe at some point I will get another Disney book that's less complicated, but I really do still like this one. It's just going to be, I'm working a little at a time in it. So, and the other 3, if you've seen my whips, you're familiar with. My real brush pens, one still haven't, by the time I get to this, it'll probably be fall again. but that one's still there. My Country Charm one, that's entirely in watercolors, no progress there. And my cat coloring book one, which I absolutely adore, does have the watercolor base, but I have not added pencil yet. So there we are. Sunday, I might have a coloring chat. I'd like to tell you guys about the trip, but if I feel a little bit better like I have today, tomorrow, then I can work on that. I don't know what the page will be. Really should be the Baby Dragons page I need to finish, but we will see. I can tell you guys all about my trip. And then Tuesday, I will kick off the tags for the month, and then we will look back at what people have posted, because there's 2 tags now, Watercolor Summer 2022 and Alphabet Color 2022. I think this one will be IJK, I think. Might add L, I don't know, but IJK probably will cover it. And then we will look back at June's stuff as well on Instagram and the showcase I normally do. Because I don't always have time to comment on Instagram like I want to, I want you guys to know that I do see your pictures and I absolutely adore them. So I can give you guys proper love, at least through the video, since I'm horrible human being and I'm not commenting like I should be. So, and I do appreciate you guys participating. After that, I don't know yet. We're gonna have to see how today's vet visit and how the weekend plays out. So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.